Hi guys, it's Mark Zickery, Mr. Sci-Fi, and I am also the author of the Twilight Zone Companion, and this is your Twilight Zone Minute in a particularly spooky space. Tonight we're going to talk about Judgment Night. This is a script by Rod Serling that takes place during World War II. It's on a freighter that's very concerned about possible U-boats that might sink it. And it has lost its convoy. Convoys used to go across the Atlantic with military ships escorting them so that and give them safety in numbers and hopefully get their cargo to Europe, to England, or to, wherever it was going. And so this is about a ship and a passenger on that ship that has a feeling that something terrible is going to happen. And this is played by the great Nehemiah Persoff. And he was a character actor that was in a million things over many decades. He just passed away recently at a very advanced age. And but he often played gangsters. For instance, in the television's Untouchables with Robert Stack, he played Al Capone. And in this episode, he plays both a passenger and, let us say, an adversarial character in the story. And it's kind of like a Flying Dutchman kind of story about sort of being condemned for your actions. Interestingly enough, it plays almost like an episode of One Step Beyond, which was an anthology series that was on at the same time, hosted by John Newland, that was supposedly, true stories inspired by true events. Charles Beaumont, who wrote for Twilight Zone, also wrote for One Step Beyond, and Bill Nolan, his friend William F. Nolan, once asked him, are these really inspired by real events, inspired by true events? And Beaumont said, nah, we just make them up. So no comment on any of that, but it was another very interesting black and white show. But Judgment Night could have been an episode of One Step Beyond, this specific episode. And there are different Twilight Zone episodes. People often say the Twilight Zone was a science fiction show, and it wasn't. It was actually a science fiction, fantasy, and horror show, depending on the episode. And then every now and then it would do an episode that could easily have been part of another series. Like, for instance, there are certain episodes that have no fantasy element, really. One of these is the Jeopardy Room with Martin Landau, where that could have been a Hitchcock Presents or, an episode of Suspense or something. And but Judgment Night is a powerful episode. It's set on a freighter during World War II at night, and it has the one example of when the sponsor asked Serling to change a line, because Serling created Twilight Zone to avoid censorship, and at one point the captain asks for a tray of tea to be brought up, but because the sponsor was a coffee company, they asked, please, can you make it, a cup of coffee, a pot of coffee, and they made that change. Of course, it didn't affect the meaning of the story. And now, again, I'm doing a Twilight Zone Minute every single day through all 156 episodes of the Twilight Zone, but that's not all that I know. That's not the totality of my knowledge. As I've mentioned before, I've produced every home video version, written and or produced every home video version of the Twilight Zone up into and including the Blu-ray, and we're going to be doing 104 full episode commentaries of the Twilight Zone that you can get for a very minimal amount of money, and less than the cup of coffee I just mentioned by far. And we're going to have an app that every week you'll get 2 episodes with my commentary. So it'll be the audio commentary, and then you can watch that episode on Netflix or whatever, wherever you get your entertainment. And you'll just turn the sound down on the episode. You'll push play on the app on your phone or wherever you have your apps, and you'll be able to hear me and my special guests tell you all about that episode, all the background of the episode, all these things that only I know. And it's going to be amazing. It'll be literally like you watching Twilight Zone with me, the world's expert on the subject. And I'll be telling you about stories about Rod Serling and about the actors and about the directors and on, stories that they themselves told me. Many of them, Richard Matheson and George Clayton Johnson and Earl Holliman and Douglas Hayes and, Anne Francis, many of these people, Burgess Meredith, Ross Martin, all these people that I interviewed that were so phenomenal to meet. So And also let me know if you like this Twilight Zone-y setting. My team said, do something that's kind of Twilight Zone-y. So I thought, well, let's try this. And we'll see how that goes. But anyway, so that's it for now. Your Twilight Zone Minute for now. Go to twilightzonecommentary.com to put in your email, because we'll let you know when the commentaries are available. And also, we're going to have a drawing for an autographed copy of the new edition, the third edition of the Twilight Zone Companion. If you only have the first or the second edition, this has 100 more pages, 500 new photographs, links to audio and video rarities. It's phenomenal, and you can get a signed copy of the Twilight Zone Companion if you win the drawing. So, and don't wait, because we're going to be doing that drawing for the Twilight Zone Companion very, very soon. So you want to be part of that, because imagine getting that in the mail and being able to have something that I wrote and personally was in my hand, written and signed to you and sent to you for no charge. So that's it. So we'll talk very, very soon. Thanks so much. And again, it's Mark Zicree, the author of the Twilight Zone Companion, and we will talk again next time. Bye.